I have remediated many tools after many tool implementations, whether the full tool or a module. And in today's episode, I would like to talk about some of my lessons learned. First of all, your experience with that tool implementation will be pretty much framed, pretty much influenced fully by your implementer. And so I know many organizations who implemented an awesome tool with a bad implementer, and they have a poor version, poor view of that tool. That's the way it is, right? And so as you in your organization think about implementing a service management tool, an asset management tool, a CRM tool, whatever it is, consider your implementation partner as being one of the biggest impacts for your success, especially as a leader. This is a big, big deal. I've led many remediation efforts, and one of the big issues for most implementers is that they are incentivized, they are paid to implement as fast as possible and get out. They are not paid to sit there and hold your hand and make sure it's good. That's why a lot of these re-implementation projects, I'm hired by the client side to be that interface because I have experience with those tools. But you need to make sure you understand the tool, its capabilities, and how to take your processes, your practices, your procedures, and optimize those with the new technology. That's a big thing, isn't it? But let's back up a step. There are two things that are important for every tool implementation. Number one is getting and vetting stakeholder requirements, making sure those are valid requirements and that you understand, just from a leadership point of view, which ones hold the most weight. In fact, if you have 10 sets of stakeholder requirements, odds are at least two of them will conflict in some manner. How are you going to mediate that conflict? It's a good question, right? Now let's talk about something that's even more important, and then we'll get back to the requirements. And that is, I encourage every organization to take a 5-year total cost of ownership, TCO, if you will, view of each tool option. Each alternative will have a different price that costs for the software, both initially and each year, and a cost to support. And so you have to layer those in and do a full cost of ownership for 5 years. Most organizations can do this, but very few do. And what you find is some organizations do not understand or do not see how they need a whole team of developers to support this certain tool. And others are pure SaaS. That's a big difference when we look at TCO. Now let's take that TCO and go back to our requirements. It's a good idea, right? Because all of the features, all of the modules within some of the options, they may not be needed. We may be able to get by with this model, this tool that's thinner, skinnier, easier, and cheaper to maintain, but does everything we need. And so you need to understand your implementation partner, get recommendations. Do not settle for just the demo. The demo is what they want you to see, not what you will really see in reality. You need to make sure that your processes and procedures and practices will work well within that tool. But on the business side, you need to do a TCO, understanding the costs to implement and support each of the alternatives, as well as detailed business requirements, not technical requirements, business requirements for each area that our stakeholders need, and then be able to prioritize those so that we get an understanding of what's important. And lastly, if you've ever built a house, you know that you have so many decisions. You get fatigued. Should we do the marble countertops or some type of laminate? Do we do this kind of hardware on the drawers or some other kind that's cheaper? The same is true for your tool implementation. Make sure that you have a guide in your expertise inside your organization that can help you with each of those to understand each of those decisions, because the implications of each of those decisions will not be felt in year one. They will be felt in year 2, 3, 4, and 5. So make sure you do that well. And if you need help in that regard, please reach out. I can help. My company, Service Management Leadership, would love to help. This is Jeffrey T. Fertiller. Thank you for joining us. We enjoy talking about these topics that are top of mind for many of our audience, and welcome you to this audience. Hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Goodbye.